everybody. How are you? I feel like I haven't done this in forever.
As soon as you have to think about doing it, it gets difficult.
Rochelle is with us today to talk about season 7. That's so exciting.
Hi, everyone.
So, with season 7, we are entering the second and the last season of Sarah Gamble's tenure as showrunner. And I feel like I need to be honest about this. Like, season 7 is just not my favorite.
Oh no.
I have issues with season 6, as we know, like we've talked about those, but season 6 at least had like some gems in there that I absolutely love, whereas season 7 has, let's say, fewer gems. I also want to mention this because it sort of blew my mind when I realized it, but like when we reach mid season 7, we'll officially be halfway through our entire project of going through every single Supernatural episode.
That is so freaky.
That's so crazy. I can't believe how fast this is going.
It's been 3 years at this point, right? That we've been doing this.
And we're all still just as young as when we started.
Once you reach a certain age, it just goes in reverse, right?
Yep.
I always like to look back before looking forward. And I think I'm just kind of amazed at like what we've done over those last 3 years or 6 seasons at this point. Like, first off, we've never missed a release date, which like kudos to all of us for that.
Like knocking on wood as you say it.
We also released a total of 160 episodes. That's 104 regular episodes and 56 special episodes.
That I think blows my mind almost more. Like a third of our releases are bonus content. I'm proud of us for that.
I'm flabbergasted by how much we've actually produced. Just that we're doing like here I am.
Speechless.
Literally speechless. Like looking at the numbers and hearing the numbers is always so wild because I can't believe how much we've done. We're halfway there and we've got a lot of really fun seasons ahead of us once we get through season 7.
I know. I completely agree with you. We also launched a merch store on Etsy, which has our glow-in-the-dark Impala pin and our Kansas Lied tote.
Both are amazing and everyone loves, and I wear mine everywhere and get questions about it. And it's super cute.
I really like our little merch line. It's very sweet. And honestly though, like the thing that I'm most proud about, like in all of this thing that we're doing, is like the community that sort of like has started building itself around this project, like through listeners and through patrons. Like I just really love all of the new ideas and the new understandings of the show that have come through in that way.
I agree with you, Mary. I think it's really incredible to see this like community develop and be part of that community.
Yeah, like just as a quick like behind the scenes, like I was organizing the voicemails and we already have enough for all of season 7. Now that doesn't mean to stop sending them, because we then might think about special episodes where all we do is respond to community voicemails. But like I'm just amazed that people like not only want to listen to us, but also want to like exchange with us. Like that is just so mind-blowing to me.
And I still think the voicemails are like the biggest surprise in this project. Like they're the thing I did not expect, but I have grown to be my like favorite part of every episode. Because as much as I love talking about the show and learning and discovering, it's that little peppering of other voices and opinions and thoughts that just like the amount of opening it does to the view of the show and my own world is magnificent.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's my favorite part of the show as well. So like please continue sending us voicemails, even if you've already sent it, and even if you've never sent one in before. Like send us voicemails. We love responding to them. Now, I think it's also super important to mention that the reason why we get to do all of this is specifically because of people who listen to the podcast every week and those who donate every month. Like that's really what allows us to do this and to give our time without like incurring extra fees on our end. So we just want to say a huge thank you to those folks who are supporting us financially. Like, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting us and continuing to do so. And we hope that you continue to support us for the next 7 seasons. Well, I guess 8 seasons technically, but
Now that we've looked back a little, let's look forward a bit too. So we've decided to keep the format of the podcast exactly the same for season 7. So recap, long game, story time, critical time with the Hunter's Journal, and Mary's thoughts. and of course the community voicemail, followed by our reflections and our calls to action.
I mean, it's really worked well for us so far. And I think it makes a lot of sense to kind of keep the format, especially for these two seasons that are so closely related. Like we've talked about this as a group and we felt strongly about this.
However, we have discussed that while keeping it like this for now, we do have plans to shake things up a bit in season 8.
Because we are keeping the same format for two seasons in a row. Like we know that we want to make a few changes in season 8, but for now we're just going to keep it as is.
With a new showrunner will come some, shakeups in our podcast, but we thought that over the Gamble era, we would stick to our format. So we're looking forward to some new changes in season 8.
There was like the tiniest like mini heart attack there when you said new showrunner. I'm like, is this Rochelle announcing she's leaving us to do something else and we're gonna have a new producer? Jesus.
No.
Oh God, don't do that to me.
Like, I don't think anybody is going to want to work with us, Drew. I'm so sorry, but like we are unmanageable.
Yeah, the fact that Rochelle hasn't killed both of us yet is amazing. But we should discuss why Rochelle is with us today, besides just loving us and taking care of us and wanting to say thank you to everyone as well. There is a little announcement to make. So you might remember that Mary and I both got to create a piece of merch, for myself, the pin, and for Mary, the tote bags. So with a third season of merch releases, it's Rochelle's turn. So Rochelle, what have you brought to the table today?
I had a little brainchild, and I decided to put to good use my degree in fine art. I specialized in printmaking, and so I felt called over the last few months to really start picking up my art practice again. And I thought, what better way than to get back into it than by designing a print for our patrons and our community and our fans and listeners. And so I put my hat in the ring and I created a print. It's screen printed. We're calling it Faith, and it's a limited edition. Mary's going to be really happy about the name of that one.
I'm excited. Oh my God. I'm freaking out about this. I can't wait for you all to see it. Oh my God.
So it's a limited edition of 50 prints. It will be available on our Etsy store. I designed it. I just, Dean was calling to me, same way as my art practice was calling to me. So I put together the concept. Really excited to share it all with you. I think you'll see a theme in terms of our colors and our merch in general. So it's really exciting to kind of look at like what we're designing and sort of the aesthetic that we have for this podcast. They will be signed and numbered 1 to 50, signed by me and screen printed on archival paper. Keep your eyes peeled for that and enjoy. I hope everybody has a chance to snag one and hang it up on their wall and enjoy it the way I've been enjoying designing it.
And we should mention that our patrons will be getting a special discount. So if you've ever considered becoming a patron, now is the time, especially if you are if you know that you're going to fall in love with this print, which I'm sure you all are. It is beautiful and gorgeous and absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to share it with you guys.
And for those of you who are chomping at the bit to get a look at it, Rochelle's print will be available on our Etsy store as of tomorrow. You can go to carryingwayward.com to find the link to the store.
So do we have any resolutions then for this season? And I can go first if you'd like.
Please, I would love to hear what you have.
My resolution for the season is going to find balance. I know that I don't love this season, and I know that I'm going to feel frustrated at times, and I don't want to burn myself out. And I think that the key here is to set boundaries in the form of like discerning what's mine and what's not. Like, is this something that I should be taking on or something that should be owned by somebody else? And like being able to recognize and to voice when something doesn't suit me. I just feel like I've talked a really big game in the last few seasons about boundaries, in the last few seasons, like literally in the last 3 years. And I just haven't been able to actually walk the walk, if we want to think about it that way. And this spring and summer, I realized just how much having poor boundaries has burnt me out, because of all of the projects that I've got going on all at once. And I want to do this podcast sustainably for the next few years. So I know that I need to do this. And I think that with this particular season would be a really good time for me to just find more balance.
I want to focus on the Hunter's Journal. I really love what I've been doing with it, but I want to focus more on building something cool rather than just trying to write. Like at this point, I am confident in my writing. I am very happy with my writing. I want to now grow a little more outside my comfort zone and try building something more unique and special. That's my very show oriented goal. Another goal I have, which is very show tangential, but I think will definitely benefit myself and our creations, is connecting with more members of our wider podcasting world to do more special episodes between seasons, create some other content. It's really interesting when I get to see an episode show up in our feed that I was not part of, because unless I'm told I can't listen for spoiler reasons, or I can only listen to so much of it, it's always so interesting to hear new voices or Mary speaking with other people in the fandom or other fandoms altogether. So I would like to be able to give that to our listeners and to Mary and to Rochelle. And I think it's a great way to just connect with people who are like-minded and working in similar circles.
Oh, I love that for you. Rochelle, do you have a resolution for season 7?
My resolution is to make sure that I'm very present this season in the podcast, and that I'm taking a concerted effort in looking to our future and thinking about what long-term goals we're looking to accomplish. So taking a crack, obviously, at really being involved in the creative side of things. Like I said earlier, I'm really called to explore a lot more of my creativity. I think I feel like a lot of times in the show, I do have my producer hat on naturally. But, as my wife says, there are creative producers and there are logistical producers. So I would love to be, involved in those creative conversations. Mary and I brainstorm really well together. We have a good vibe there, and it's really always fun when we have our production meetings and we can start talking about those things. So just being more present and more available creatively for this podcast. And in that, I'll be there to help you, Mary, through the workload, and Drew, help you in developing the Hunter's Journal if you need. But I'm really excited to do that. And personally, just a lot of growth in terms of my resolution is to just really focus on my art practice and what that may look like, and how to do that as life moves on, and be creative in different ways. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to go get a studio space somewhere. So how can I continue to be creative in all aspects of my life? Because it's something I'm really missing.
I love that. I think that it's been a long time coming for you to actually dive back into this. And yeah, I completely agree. I don't think I think that you can be creative in very different ways. And this is such a creative project that I think that is a little underdeveloped in that sense. We could be a lot more creative with it. So I think if we all put our heads down and kind of think about this and how to make the show better, we could totally do it. So, I mean, it's all not to toot our own horn. It's already pretty good, but I think we can obviously always make it better. So yeah, that's great. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Of course, I'm really excited for what's to come for this podcast.
Same.
And if you releasing a amazing print is the first step in a more creative journey, I'm 1000% on board.
So I just want to remind our listeners to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we released a YouTube exclusive a couple of days ago where Drew shares his predictions for season 7. So I think you should all go and have a look, because it's definitely interesting.
That description gives me the utmost confidence in myself when it comes to predicting this show. Well, again, that's just me.
This is absolutely not a you problem, Drew. This is a supernatural problem.
I like that. More of my problems need to be supernatural. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. And don't forget, like Mary said, to hit carryingwayward.com to find all of our socials, that YouTube channel, that exclusive video, and of course, our Etsy store for tomorrow's release, our Patreon, and our coffee, so you can help support us as well if you can. We appreciate it, and we thank you.
Let's get this show back on the road, everybody.